Okay, Hazy and T in the building. This episode we got Julie McGee. If you like what I'm doing, you hit the subscribe button. Shouts out to Circle of Kings for the shirt. And my sponsor, the John B Pub. If you need a good place to go for good food, good drinks, and good people, head over to the John B Pub. Julie McGee, let's go.
I'm Julie McGee. I was on Survivor 29, and this is an episode of I Only Touch Greatness. Enjoy.
Haze, entertainment.
Now Julie's up there. Bear bag for Koyoka.
Oh, got it.
Come on, Julie, get there.
Julie has the second bag.
Ryan Haze. Run never stop. I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Putting up first.
This is I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes.
You guys ready to get to today's immunity challenge? Yeah. First things first, Julie, I will take it back.
Now you can.
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay, excellent.
Perfect. Thank you for taking the time
Perfect.
to
So
come on. And
I've got this in the background. My
What?
baby's
Oh.
sleeping, so just
Oh,
in case in case she gets up, I'll have to run upstairs. But we're good for right now.
okay, that's perfect. We'll try to run through as many of these questions as quickly as possible.
Perfect. I'm excited.
All right. How's your day going?
It's going pretty good. It's beautiful here in Georgia, and I'm a big college football fan, and so yeah, the Bulldogs are playing tonight. We're going to go up to see some of my family in just a few hours and have some drinks and enjoy the game.
Perfect. Sounds like a
Yeah.
good day. No, I like college ball as well. Sundays are more my day though.
Yeah, for sure. No, I went to Georgia, so
Oh, okay.
big Georgia fan.
And you've always grown up in Georgia?
Yeah, so I was born here, been here. I've traveled around for different work things, to the West Coast and whatnot, and spent a little time in Germany after Survivor, about 6 months or so. But I've always been in Georgia. I'm a dying breed, Georgia peach.
Yeah.
That's me.
Did you always want to be a supermodel?
Super. I like that part.
I know. I'm just throwing that in there to get some laughs. Oh, you're back. I got you back. I got your back now.
Okay, good. So I don't know if that's mine.
I think it might be.
Okay, well, sorry. I'm just going to apologize. I might have to repeat a few answers.
Hey, that's okay.
So when I was really into the industry, and so it's like it comes naturally. I've done it for so long, and so started modeling at a very young age, and then segued into acting. And I can't wait to get back to that. The baby's kind of taken me away from a lot of things. Well, and COVID has kind of taken us all away from everything. But yeah.
And I mean, the Americans are having a real hard time with the COVID.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. My fiance is from Germany, and they're having a hard time with it now. In the beginning, they were much, right? They were kind of doing what they were told, and now it's a little worse there. But yeah, I had my baby in March, and that was the beginning of all of it, right? And so I kind of was trapped in with my baby, had no idea what was going on, and trapped in with everybody else. And so it was kind of extra hard for me being a new mom. So I am fucking over it.
Yeah. So are we. We're just in Canada. We all, or at least Vancouver, we took it easy. Everybody stayed home for those first couple months of March, and we tried to flatten the curve. And then, we're starting to get more cases picked back up as the weather's starting to change. It's starting to get cold again.
Exactly. It's, who knows how long it's going to take until we can actually act normal again. But I know everybody's wanting to, but no one's really showing it. And because I get it. If I wasn't home with a baby, I would hopefully not be out, like breathing on everybody in a bar. But I get it. Like if you're young and single and that's all you have to do, like I totally understand.
Yep, I was in the bar last night, but hopefully not breathing on anybody.
Breathing on people and people breathing on you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay, one more here. What's it like being the prettiest lady in Georgia?
Oh my God, aren't you the sweetest? I don't even know how to answer that. That's very kind of you. You know, I do what I can to try and keep myself fresh and beautiful.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with a lot of people here in Buckhead. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been down here, but
No, I haven't, but I've heard of that. I mean, there's a rapper from TI that's from there.
Yeah, there's lots of beautiful Southern women running around here.
Yeah.
So
I gotta get down there sometime.
very sweet.
That's yeah, my buddy here that I usually host episodes with, he didn't want me to ask that question, so.
Oh well, okay. Well, tell your buddy thank you.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
So
I need all the compliments I can get now after having the baby.
Yeah. You look great.
Thank you.
You've been in a few movies, obviously, and one of them was Las Vegas.
Yes.
Did you get to meet any of those legends that are in that movie?
Oh my God, yeah. The best story ever about how I actually met each and every one of them all together. So for my part, it was a very small part and I was a call girl. So, you know, they would typecast me for a lot of these things. And I'm like, hey, that's cool. If I look the part and it's in a movie with these kinds of actors, then I'll be a hooker all day. Okay. So it was my day to be on set filming that particular scene. And I was in hair and makeup and the director came out, John Turtletop. He's incredible. So nice and down to earth. He came to me and introduced himself and said, I just want to go over a few things. And, you know, when you're done with hair and makeup, come to set. I want you to meet a few people. And I thought, okay, cool. So I'm probably meeting some of the people in the back end because the big guys have already filmed this stuff in LA. So I get there and he walks me up and it's this awesome, they make this stuff on set, like to make this entire room look like an Aria suite in Vegas. It was amazing. So I'm walking through like, oh my God, this is incredible. And he walks me upstairs and he was like, well, you know, here's, I want to introduce you to Michael Douglas. Here's Morgan Freeman. And I was like, oh my God, I literally like, get your shit together. And they were just upstairs, you know, just hanging out before we started the scene. And I played, they had an actual pool table up there. And so I just waiting on everybody to get ready to go and start filming. I was playing pool with Morgan Freeman. And I mean, I'm telling you, it was cool. And Kevin Kline, he's a funny guy, super, super funny. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. It was like, okay, I'm going to need costume change. I'm going to need some new underwear. I've just my pants because these guys were incredible. And I'm like, you know, I'm a nobody in the acting world when it comes to these guys. And I'm just like, I'm going to drop one line, but I didn't. I held it together. I'm
going to have to go back and watch that movie now just to look for you.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, I'm not wearing very much.
So nowadays you own your own company, the Spray Tan.
Yes. Yeah. So it started as a very small spray tanning gig. I was in real estate for years and then and kind of segued out of that and wanted to do something on my own and started the business from the ground up. And now I've had 2 locations. COVID kind of had forced me to close my second one. But I'm really like putting a lot of energy into my online sales for all of my new products I'm coming out with. And so I have a few and I'm trying to add to it as much as I can. So yeah, it's a great feeling to run my own business. It's awesome. I mean, it took many years to get to this point and a lot of years of like, well, what the fuck am I doing? I need to be working for somebody, getting insurance and getting all the things. But yeah, it's incredibly rewarding.
Good. I just started this business as well. So.
And when did you start this?
June.
Oh, good for you. So you get like all the shit that goes.
I got tired of sitting at home doing nothing during COVID and.
Right.
And
this is how you started.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, all right.
We've done 150 episodes since June.
No stinking way.
Yeah.
Is this the room that you're normally?
Yeah.
Is the room you're doing it all in? That's incredible. Yeah. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, my house isn't very big. I only got a 1-bedroom condo, but
No, I think it's great. I was just wondering if this where all the magic happens. So I feel the vibes. This is good.
well, all the magic happens in my bedroom, but
Right. Well, or the kitchen counter.
yeah, or the kitchen counter. Depends where you want to go. I'm too short to reach the kitchen counter, but yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's it's awesome. I love having my own business. So
Your survivor bio said your hobbies were trips to the vineyard. That sounds like my hobbies, trips to the pub.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like to have beverages? I mean,
Yeah.
some people that don't, but yeah, I love wine. I love to, like, I always say, my fiance probably is annoyed by it, but I'm like, don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah.
Like, if I have the choice to be, out around people, having great food, having good wine, if it tends to get me a little drunk, then that's even better. But I like the taste of it. I like pairing it with things, right? So, I mean, I obviously, back in the day when I was at UGA, I was probably shooting things that were not wine. I was shooting whatever liquor that was around. But I do, and it's this time of year. It's beautiful out. It's time to go up to the vineyards. It's time.
Is there a lot of those in Georgia?
There are actually.
Okay.
Which is, people are probably like mind blown by that. But yeah, up in the mountains, there's quite a few actually. And at this point, if you just buy the land and have some vines growing and you just import the grapes in and then make it from someone else's grapes, it doesn't matter if then you just have everybody coming to visit because it's beautiful up in North Georgia. So
I always just assume San Francisco area is the place for all those.
I know. And I've been there a few times to the vineyards out there, and it's incredible.
Yeah,
you have
chasing
to go,
that wine.
Right. And I know that there was some devastation from the fires. I don't know how many had really been affected by that, but if you ever have the chance, you have to go. Yeah,
I've been to San Francisco a few times. I love it there. And yeah, those fires, even we got the smoke in Vancouver.
Did you really? Wow.
Yeah, we're really only a 2-hour drive from Seattle, so.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you guys had some of the.
We definitely got a lot of the smoke. There was a few days that we were wearing masks for the smoke, but not for COVID.
Great, man, that's incredible.
Yeah. Okay, I saw this as one of my questions too. If you could bring 3 things on Survivor, what would it be? Did you actually get to bring 3 things?
Okay, so let me start with no.
Okay.
We got to bring that much.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing. Unless, on the back end somebody needed medication or something, but no, there was absolutely zero. I had the clothes on my back and that was it. So, and if I could have brought something, it would have been, oh God, don't get me started with this. A pillow.
Yeah.
A razor.
Yep.
And shit, what would the other be? This is so funny. I mean, those 2 things were like incredibly, and toilet paper. Yep.
That was one of the things you listed on your thing, the toilet paper.
What did I say?
I didn't write down the 3, but one of them was toilet paper.
It is like, I mean, there's no way to actually be prepared for this kind of challenge. There's really no way. So, I mean, yeah, there was maybe 10 more things that I would bring. But those 3 were pretty huge.
Yeah, I'm a huge Survivor fan. I've watched it forever. I've applied many times.
Have you?
Yeah,
You gotta keep trying, right?
Yeah, Jeff just ignores my emails all the time.
Well, it's you just have to be persistent, really, because you never know what they're looking for at what time and when it could be the right time.
Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say at the time what brought me on. See, I would love at this point to look back in retrospect and say Julie McGee was the one that did it. I didn't have a partner at the time, and I loved the whole concept of blood versus water. Oh my gosh, that was just a whole nother challenge within itself, right? Being there and being separated from your loved. But I'd love to be able to talk about this show just as me doing it versus the person that I was with. But but that was I do have to say that was kind of, the producers were they wanted a hothead person like him to come on and show his ass, and he did. And then I came along with him. So you have to be grateful to anyone or anything that has kind of helped you kind of get to where you are.
So
right?
kind of like Beauty and the Beast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're obviously the beauty on that one.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, my Survivor audition tape. It's basically me diving in the pool, running slow motion with the Baywatch music going in the background, so my titties are bouncing.
Is this for real?
Yeah, for real. And it's got the Baywatch theme, and I'm running across the beach in slow motion and diving in the pool. And
did you get any response?
No, I never got any. No reply. So that was about a year and a half ago I applied for that one, but
yeah. I don't know. I mean, keep trying. You just never know what they're looking for. It's wild. I mean, and do you feel like you could go without eating and sleeping in the rain and all? You're ready for it.
I feel like, I mean, I hate bugs. Well, that's I'm gonna have to learn to deal with that. But I go multiple days without eating around here when I'm drinking. So. Oh, your mic turned off. I can't hear you again.
Okay.
There we go. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, so your mind is working against you. It's mental, because you know what is going on, and if there are moments beyond the game that you're just like miserable and you're starving and you're cold, like me. I think I showed wear my heart on my sleeve. I couldn't help it. You know that you don't have to be doing, you don't have to be there, but it is, so the mental thing is huge. I mean, your body adapts. Like, you just are like, fuck it, I'm going to eat at some point. Like, as long as I'm getting some water, then yeah. But the bugs, that's terrible.
Yeah, what about wearing like 10 layers of clothes and then jumping off that boat and swimming?
Right. I mean, oh my gosh. All of it was so wild. I mean, I still have some traumatic experience, like PTSD from it. I'll dream about it. I'll think about it daily. It's wild, but it really does. I mean, I don't know if you've talked to any of the other Survivor.
No, not yet. I've been trying to.
Yeah, well, you'll speak to some of them, and but like it's really interesting how taking away all of these things and putting you in the situation that makes you so fragile, and then say, okay, now you do need to make friends and then make enemies and make them play this game, and then with nothing to eat go out and do these challenges. It's something.
So I was one question I had farther down here, but we'll get to it now. Is it really like that, or is there once the cameras stop rolling, do you guys all go to hotels?
Okay, so it is the real deal.
Okay.
There is nothing Hollywood about Survivor except that it is filmed and edited and put on TV for people to sit on their couches and watch. It is. During the casting and everything before and leading up to that, they try to prepare you. At least they give you go through some really intensive psychological sessions to make sure that you're not just going to lose it. And I thought, God, I don't know why they're doing all this. And then the moment that it started, I was like, okay, this shit's real. Like, this is getting real quick. No, we are out there surviving. Yes, there's water, but the water has to be boiled. There's rice. The rice has to be boiled, and it has to be rationed out. So basically you're getting 100 calories every 24 hours, and you're sleeping. I slept with my head in the sand. I had crabs crawling all through my hair. I mean, I had whelps all over me. I remember the first challenge, we walked out, and I'm just so out of it from not sleeping, and my hair's all a mess, and I have on barely anything for the first challenge. And I think they were like, you can't wear that again, just in case this is for television, like, all over the world to see. We can't have your boobs falling out. I remember John looking over at me and he was like, because I had these whelps all over me, like just, bugs just attack. It it's real.
Yeah, the bugs went for the hot one.
They tore my ass up.
Yeah. Hey, I was gonna ask you, realistically, how much rice is there in there?
It was probably so it was an actual like burlap sack of maybe a 5-pound bag.
Oh, not much.
3 or 5, I don't know, but it was but that's all we had to ration out for. How many people was it? I should have
13 maybe on
13
tribe.
in the very beginning, and then our tribe kept winning and winning and winning, which is awesome. But that means that we're just having to feed all those mouths over and over and over again, right? So we were just kind of like, all right, everybody's got to. So the fight was, do we make the rice in the morning so that we can sustain through the day, or do we wait until the evening? So there's, you have to, it's almost like being on like a jury before you're on that. If you do make it to the jury, you're all constantly deciding what's the best for the group, and everybody has their own opinions. And so I just at some point I was like, fuck it, just, whenever I'm gonna eat, it's one tiny bowl of rice. It doesn't matter. Like, I think I'm dying already. So
then to go 39 days eating rice sounds a little hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. Like I was, Natalie, she won our season, and she was such a badass. Like, I have so much respect for these guys that continue on. And I was in a really shitty headspace with the person that I was with at the time. John was just, and it's because if you're coming into this game with any kind of personal things going on, or any kind of like a shaky foundation, it's really going to affect how you play the game.
And they really pull that out and make that noticeable on TV.
Absolutely. And that's what makes it such good, viewing.
Oh yeah.
You make good TV. I mean, and of course, I think constantly, I don't like to live my life in regret. I am that person. Let's be positive. Let's move forward. But I do wish that I had been able to fight through that. Absolutely 100%, looking back. But it is what it is. Maybe one day I can get another opportunity, but if I had done it on my own, I would have felt a little bit more encouraged to really fight for that.
That's one question I had as well. Do you ever see yourself wanting to go back on?
I think about this all the time. Yeah. It was such an incredible experience. Although watching the episodes back with me on, you would think otherwise. You would think that she's fucking miserable. She hates this. There's no way she wants to go back. But I have to say, it is so powerful. And I learned so much about myself, and I learned so much about what I could handle. So I'm a glutton for living like shit and not eating and gaining these powerful, and internal moments that make you kind of appreciate your life. So it would be, these people are out there with children, and I get it. So it would be a totally different process right now. But yeah.
Do you still watch?
I would.
You still watch Survivor?
Yeah, I don't watch it as much because I don't have a lot of time to do much of anything. But yeah, it's and it brings me right back. It's a totally different experience watching it after you've done it.
Yeah. I mean, I watch a lot of it, but
yeah,
of course there hasn't been anything new in a while because of COVID, but
exactly. So that was, and I remember when they had, posted about that they were not going to do it. And I did post that on my Instagram. I thought that was unfortunate, but yeah, it's something is totally different to watch it after you've done it. And I just sit there and think, what would I have done? What would I have done differently? And just totally I mean, I just have so much respect for everybody that does it.
When I was doing my homework on you, I came up with this. I saw this in one of your things that you wrote. You're very observant and can read a person in 5 minutes.
Yes. So what, are you going to ask me to read you?
Hey, if you like.
Okay, but let me preface this with, So anybody that knows me, my very long-term friends, they always say, there's Julie doing her thing. Like what? So we walk into a room, they're like, tell us what everybody's doing. And that couple is, they've just met, they're about to go home and screw, like these people over here are like, they're fighting, or this person is looking at this person. I'm just like, I can pick up on these cues, like these nonverbal cues in people, right? I need a little bit more time with you. Has it been over 5 minutes?
Hey, that's okay. We got a few more questions anyways. At least I got 10 more to let you think about what you think of me.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I can walk into a room, I pick out what's going on, and I always like to know what's going on around me as well.
Okay. Well, this is a good thing. That means you got some street smarts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we gotta be, there's so many in my business right now. There's so many women that come in, thank God for them and their need for vanity, because they are making my business thrive. But, these are the kind of people, there's a lot of them that are not so aware of what's going on, and it drives me nuts. And I've always, I think it was because I started working so young and really was forced to be more responsible, to pay for things, pay for school and get jobs early and stuff like that. That made me more aware of everything that's going on around me. And that's key, right?
Yeah. Okay. What was your Survivor video like your audition tape?
Oh my God. It was so terrible. I thought it was like the most ridiculous thing. We had a few, and I know that it involved fitness. So the very first one we made, because we made a lot, you make quite a few, right?
Okay.
And then when they're ready to bring you on, they want you to do it a little bit better, a little bit, and so that we had to do quite a few. But the very first one, John and I were, we were at the fitness center that we worked out at, and there was like these punching bags hanging. And so he said, okay, and go. And I started kicking the bags, and we ran, and then I ran up and jumped into his lap and said, I don't even remember what we said. It was something so stupid, but like, you literally have to lose all humility. You have to just be like a complete, just feel like the more idiotic you feel in these videos, and the more real you are. And that's what I almost hated about it. So you have to talk so much about yourself. I could do this, I could do that, and I don't know, I'm not that narcissistic. So it was very difficult for me, but it was like some ridiculous thing. However, I did not run in slow motion and let my boobs flop up and down.
Hey, that's what I did.
Yeah, that's what you did. I left that up to what was going on in the show. Yeah. I'm like, I look back and I'm like, oh my God, really? I mean, my boobs were hanging out that much. This is so embarrassing.
Oh, I don't know.
Hey,
I mean, I enjoyed it, just to throw that out there.
Thanks. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
What kind of dog is that?
French bulldog named Tupac.
Oh, cute.
His name's Tupac.
Tupac.
Yeah. Hey,
Sure.
come here.
Okay, so you're all West Coast. I hear you. Hey, buddy. Hi, aren't you cute? What about Biggie? See, I'm more Biggie. I'm East Coast.
It's because you're on the East Coast, though.
Ghost.
Yeah, I grew up listening to all that '90s hip hop and stuff.
Same.
Yeah, I loved it. And I used to run a record label up until maybe 2010.
Really?
Yeah, so I used to do music, and I managed a Dominican artist that did English and Spanish music, and
cool.
So yeah, rap was a big part of my life growing up. Pardon me, sorry?
You've done a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and every 10 years I seem to change what I'm doing, and now this 10 years I'm going to be on the podcast.
This is great. No,
I'm running out of spots to get tattooed though. Like my whole one sleeve is all like a mixed tape, tape and headphones, and
well, there's always room on the body.
Yeah, I'm gonna find some. Running out of spots, but
if you talk to my dad, who's like a total redneck, he would tell you. But what's his joke? It's something about you get tattooed on your and then it changes side, whatever. Have you heard the joke?
No.
Okay, good. Well, we'll get to that. So how about just Google it?
Okay. The yeah, you lasted 38 days on Survivor. You came third.
Actually, it was no, it was only it was 20, wasn't it? Was
Oh,
it 30 or 20? I can't remember. You know, it all runs together to me. It was after the merge, obviously.
yeah.
And yeah, you know, I got to tell you, this is when I went back over this many times, kind of like, you know, all the pieces and why and how, and when I left, what was happening right before that. But you know, there was, this is on the back end, and, you know, and I have to tell you, I'm human, and some people do the show and may never even blink an eye at being cold or being hungry or all these things. Right. And I commend them and I respect the fuck out of them. Great. But you know, the first rainstorm, this was the night before the merge, there was a long rainstorm, and you didn't see this on camera, but it was like right at sunset, and the rain started to come just a little bit. It was just a little tiny sprinkle. And I started to feel a little chilly, and I'm like, you know what? It looks like it's just going to rain a little bit and pass. So I'm going to stand up and I'm going to do jumping jacks. And I'm going to get my blood pressure up, right? You've seen people do this, maybe on Naked and Afraid. Yeah. And I was doing that. And I'm like, I'm a badass. I'm going to get through this. You know, my biggest fear is being cold because I'm little. And I started to do jumping jacks, and then the sun sets and the rain comes harder and harder and more hours and more. So like 8 hours of rain. And it was just like the night was it was a little much for me to handle. And the next day, so I woke up like, and you know, just in this fearing the anticipation of the next situation like that. And John had already been kicked off.
Yeah.
And so the next day was the merge. So I was like, oh my God, the merge, the big meal we get at the merge. So all these things were giving me some more fuel. But then they combined our tribes right after the merge. We all merged together. And then it seemed like there was just enough people that came back together into their partners. And my partner wasn't there. And I felt like there were some other people getting, like their dad or their boyfriend or their husband was getting them food. They were out there killing, you know, crabs and all for them and bringing it to them. And I was killing my own crab. I was killing myself. I was bloody knees and everything. So that really took it out of me, like coming together with everyone. And then there wasn't just the single people working together and trying to create these, you know, these bonds and alliances. It was more, you saw these couples coming back together. And without John being there, it killed me. I was just like, this is too much.
Yeah, I remember what you were
like a fucking Joker trying to steal food, and I'm like, it was blown out of proportion. The trail mix.
Yeah, I'd say that's that's coming up here in a couple seconds. I got a question about that. But the Kelly Wentworth or whatever her name is, I believe it was her. What you're talking about is her dad was getting her food and stuff, and she was just laying around.
Yeah, you know, I felt well, and it was also so that was before, because I think she was kicked off already. But who was the other couple? It's been so many years, and like she was the model. She was very, very tall, and she was with her boyfriend at the time. They're married now. Anyhow, they came back together. There were a few other people that came back together. And yeah, so it was just like, she was kind of laying around sunbathing, and everybody, and within the same breath, she's over there sunbathing, and he's delivering, you know, cooked fresh crab for her. Yeah. And I had a few little pieces of trail mix left over my bag from transferring all this shit. Nobody saw this on the show, but I carried that entire basket on top of my head with like 40 pounds of the leftover food, because they tell you you're able to take whatever you see here, but nothing that is you can't take the pots and the pans. So we had one big basket that we had taken from the other camp. And I had a big ass sore on my head for days because of carrying that. And I'm like, I was, you know, felt like I was really trying to do my best to, you know, to pull my part for the team. And then the second they wanted to turn against me. So yeah, it was some bullshit.
Did you ever win any individual immunities?
So, you know what, the big thing for me, so I won, you know, I beat John in our toe-to-toe challenge, because everybody on Blood versus Water has to go and challenge their loved one if it comes to that during the challenges.
Yeah, I remember that kind of.
Right. So it was like, so what challenge? I'm trying to remember what I did, but I'm sorry, that was a big one, because this guy was the most, I mean, he didn't lose when it came to athletic type stuff. And I knew I had it when I saw it. He stood up and I'm like, why is he standing up? Because that means we have to challenge each other. And it was like this agility course, and I'm little and I can be agile and he can't. So it's like, what? Anyway, so that was a big one for me. And then after that, it was like, he had to get, I'm trying to remember what happened after that. In the very first challenge that I told you I had all the bites on me, I felt we were so good together as a team up at the top, and I was a part of the very final puzzle, like the large puzzle. We won that. We were winning so many that we just worked good as a team. And then, I eventually kind of got shafted and felt like an outcast at the very end, right before I left. It was really messed up.
Trying to find, I had a note here on how many how many immunities you won as a team.
Yeah, it was like, while I was on there, it was like, I mean, it was all of them, right? It was like all of them. It was all of them up until I left, because that's why so many people were leaving on their team, right?
Yeah.
So it was just like, it was a good setup, and I really did have a great alliance with Jeremy. Yeah. He was and Natalie, but more so Jeremy at the time. He was really showing me a lot of support, and I was to him, because his wife was kicked off really early, and I'm still friends with Jeremy and Natalie, like through social media, really. Yeah. But they're awesome people, and I'm so happy that he won when he went back.
Yeah, and Natalie won again too, didn't she?
Yeah. I mean, she's
won the All-Star edition last year.
Oh yeah, like she's she's just made for it. She's got that, like, she's super down to earth. She is really loving and caring and can really connect with you easy, but also is like, she's not going to stop until she kind of makes it happen, right? So she's kind of she checks off all the boxes. And
she really showed it in last year's episode or series, where you could see her where she had to run back and get these like 20 coconuts at the top of the thing, and
exactly
at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, like she kicked ass, and and she's super, super cool. So I'm so happy she won.
So your Survivor Wikipedia, where I got some of these questions from, says you were the first castaway to vote with the majority on a vote, and then flip your vote on the revote.
Okay, so it's been a long time. Yeah. So my brain is like, I don't know. I'll have to think back there. Who was it? Do you remember who it was?
No, I actually, when I went to look for these questions, it said that your episode and season was in 2000, but that's way too long ago.
No. That was because I did it in
2010.
Shut up! It was not that long ago. Let me see.
Oh, your mic's off again. I don't know why, but the baby crying. Oh, you're back.
What year was that? Yeah, so I don't remember the flip vote. This is terrible. I'm sorry, because I don't, maybe it was somebody else you were looking at, but I don't remember.
No, it wasn't. There's hard to forget you on there.
Oh, aren't you sweet? Yeah. What year is that? On March 2020, baby. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm reading all these things I haven't seen in a long time. I'm like, there's new stuff on there. I'm like, oh, what are they saying about me?
It must be all good things.
Sorry. My brain is not functioning on that one.
All right. Okay. Now to the Trail Mix Alliance. How did you come up with that name?
So, Trail Mix. This was so crazy. Like, thinking back, it really upsets me. But it was a good time when it all just kind of came together, right? And then they had a heyday with the Trail Mix scandal. I mean, if you want to call Trail Mix scandalous.
Yeah.
So after I came, right. So it was Alex's younger brother. I feel so bad that I'm not remembering these names. But Alex, his younger brother, he was giving me such a hard time. I'd walked away for something and they looked in my bag, and we would hang our bags off the trees wherever our little location was in the dirt. And they had seen that there was literally like 5 pieces in there. And I get it. Like, I get it. At the end of the day, we all have to be completely transparent, but it was just like I had put everything out there, the leftovers. It was literally leftovers that were in there with like clothes that I was changing in and out of, like my underwear that I put in. I'm like, I'm not going to give them trail mixes in. They're my dirty clothes, so the whatever pieces were left. And so I don't know, they were definitely trying to get under my skin, and they did a good job of it. And then afterwards, whenever they aired that episode, it was social media just went crazy with the trail mix scandal.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, it's so ridiculous.
What was it like walking into your first tribal council and looking around and like?
Yeah, it was
Unreal.
incredible. So you can imagine, since you are such a big fan, it was everything. It lived up to everything you would imagine walking out there. Really nerve-wracking, of course, because nobody really knows whose game it is and what's happening. But so it was cool. And to sit there and talk to Jeff, like he's a really down to earth guy. He really is, believe it or not. And he has all the best questions, and he can really stir it up. So yeah, it was awesome.
And right on cue, my next question was, what's Jeff like in real life?
He is awesome. He's really cool. He saw that I was in a bit of a struggle, and this was one of the challenges that I had. We decided to sit me out. Which one was it? Because there was the water fight, right? Where the what do you call those things they're holding? Whatever they were actually wrestling. No,
Okay.
they were things. The Jocelyn things where they're fighting on. So that was a challenge. I sat out on that one. And then the very next one, for whatever reason, I sat out on that. I don't even remember. But Jeff was right there beside me while they were going through it when they started the challenge. And
Yeah.
he goes, by the way, you're doing an awesome job. He's like, I couldn't do this. He's like,
Yeah.
I can't do this. Like, keep your head up. You're doing a great job, because this, I get it's tough. Like, this is some tough shit. So
That's
I was
good.
like, thanks, man. I needed that.
Yeah, that's good. They never show that stuff. He always seems like he might be a hard ass.
Yeah, no. And, and they try to, they edit things and depict things a certain way.
Yeah.
For the show, to some degree, like I told you earlier, everything is real. It's real. But there's a lot of stuff that I remembered. I was like, man, I cannot believe they left that off. Like, I was doing so much, man. I was sweating. I was dragging trees around, but.
Yep, that happens even like in the show The Bachelor. That happens. They cut in the Bachelor show. They cut out parts and make people look a certain way.
Oh, exactly. And you know what? When it comes to this, like, I told you in the beginning, it is real, but there's a lot of things that there's so much footage because it's 24/7.
Yeah.
There are people that are sitting out there all night long in case we get up and talk. So there's so much they have to cut it down. So I get it.
What place did you finish?
That's a great question. We need to Google that. Let's see how many people were left.
I had it
right after the merge. It was probably like, I'm going to say it was in before the jury started. And how many places are on the jury? Anyway, maybe 11th or I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, so then my notes are definitely wrong. I had you finishing 3rd, but
no, but that would have been great. So can we just keep it like, let's keep me 3rd?
okay. How did it feel? How did it feel to finish 3rd?
Hey, you know what? It was an incredible feeling. I did more than I ever thought that I could have done. Seriously, like, you get out there and you're like, there's no way I'm going to make it through this. And you do, and you push through, and so I wish I had made 3rd. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. What was your favorite challenge?
My favorite challenge, you probably know what I'm going to say. It's when I won against the person that I was challenging, which was my ex. That really, and if you watch that episode back, I was crying afterwards. It was very emotional, and it looked as if maybe I wasn't happy, but I was happy.
Yeah.
I'm still happy.
Yeah, kicked his ass.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you answered this rice question already. I had there.
Yeah.
And you already and you said this one too about wanting to go back on. How hard is it to build a shelter? Do they teach this?
They kind of teach you before to do a few things, so you're not out there just like, what are we gonna do? They teach you the palm fronds. Is that what you call them?
I'm not sure.
The palm leaves, palm fronds, I think that's what they call it. And so the palm leaves they show you how to kind of braid them together and things. I mean, stuff takes time, and you kind of have to know a little bit. And you need, it's difficult. You know what, after we set it all up, it was painful to sleep on. So we took all of these, really, thank God that we had all of the supplies we kind of needed around there, but small trees, and we would drag them up, and we laid them all out to sleep on them. And there's like the little knots on the tree.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I could feel, like all up and down my spine, and everybody's like sleeping good. I'm like, what am I missing here? So I ended up just going to the sand. I slept in the sand, and
that's why you got all the bites from the sand.
That's when I got all the bites, right? Yeah. So it's like, you got to kind of figure out which one's pros and cons of sleeping up there. But then when the rain came through, there was no, basically it took a lot of time and energy to put up those palm fronds, and it doesn't do shit. So you basically have to go in and win the tarp and all those things. And we had that and lost it. Do you remember?
Nope.
Yeah. You need to go back and watch this.
I know. I should have gone back and watched it, but hey, I didn't.
That's okay. But yeah, we had one in the beginning of one of the first two challenges. We as a group won the shelter stuff. So we got back, put it all up, and we had blankets with the shelter win. And somebody lost the thing that starts fire. What is that stuff called?
Flint.
Thank you. Somebody lost the flint.
Oh yeah.
We had shelter, and we lost the flint, and so we went and bartered with Jeff, and so they took all that back. And I'm like, that's when I
kind of remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
All the bamboo, it doesn't come already cut and stuff. It's just like you have to actually cut it.
Well,
yeah.
They don't give it. They give us a machete.
Yeah.
We have a machete, right? But we don't have, so we had to cut a few things there. I hate to say this, but there were a few strategically laid things around. I mean, for Christ's sakes, what would we do if they weren't?
Yeah.
We'd probably all die. But yeah, I mean, we were out there like manhandling stuff. There was the coconuts we'd have to open up with a machete, and God, those were great moments. Besides that, and finding snails to cook, that was, believe it or not, I was loving snails. Disgusting.
Oh. Good.
Yeah, it was right.
Yeah. Did you ever find any hidden immunities?
No, we searched, and I remember that day Natalie and I were teamed up, and we were trying to hold off the group. A few people had gone to collect firewood, and the other half had gone to get water. And so we had somebody on lookout, and Natalie and I we were tracking down the coordinates and like going through the sand and we dug and didn't find anything.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, that would have been so great. That
would be one thing that I'd want. I'd make sure that say that I found one. So.
Oh yeah, I know, absolutely. So I didn't get to. Unfortunately, my ex found one, and that was like really, and didn't use it. I don't know. So that was interesting. He got kicked off the night and didn't freaking use it.
Yeah, I wonder if he kept that.
No. Oh, I'm sure they make it. I'm sure they.
Oh, they make you give it back.
I'm sure. I'm telling you, like they strip you of everything.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you don't get to keep these things.
Oh, I thought you maybe got like a trophy kind of thing to take.
I mean, maybe at the end, but like for those, I think they probably want to those are probably pretty special. So they probably, you know, they want to reuse them.
Yeah, and they get they
You
they
do
get
that.
yeah. That's okay. I got one more question. It's what are you doing?
Okay.
What do you do nowadays?
So what do I do?
Like I know that you
I'm
got the
gonna show
tanning,
you
you got the
what I do.
tanning salon and stuff, but
Say hi.
hey, there you go.
So yeah, I'm a new mom. That kind of takes up a lot of my time. And I still have my store, which is great. I'm, you know, getting back into that a lot. And I'm really trying to push my online product sales. And so the website to buy that, can I plug that?
Yeah, we're
Okay,
getting
it's-
off the air. We're gonna get you to send over the link so I can add it to
Okay,
the video.
perfect. It's firmglowsunless.com. And it's just a great like hydrating, bronzing stuff. I'll send you one. You look like you need a little bronzing.
I could use that. I love suntanning, so that's a good thing.
Good.
Hey.
I'll send you a product. But
Please.
yeah, just enjoying life and trying to be a new mommy, and you know, that's about it. Nothing too exciting. I mean, I haven't been able to audition or anything, but that's coming. That'll come back around eventually.
Yeah.
I miss that a lot.
Good. Well, you shouldn't have any problem getting any gigs.
Oh, thank you so much. That's very sweet.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on and chat with me and run
Absolutely.
through some Survivor stuff. Now I know the inside scoop about Survivor, so when I go to
Yes.
apply,
Yes, you have to just continue to try, because you never know when it'll be
just
your
keep
time.
just keep applying. Now I got now I got a reference also for when I try to get
Yeah.
more Survivor people on.
Exactly, for sure. So I'd love to help you. This was fun. I'm Julie McGee. I was on Survivor 29, and this is an episode of I Only Touch Greatness. Enjoy.
All right, thank you. And now off air, if you I'll want to send your links and stuff, and we'll chat off air.
Yeah. So should I just do that through Instagram?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, we'll chat.
That'll
I'll send
be
you a
great.
message. I'll send you a message right now. Thank you for
Okay.
taking your
Thank
time.
you so much. Great to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Good luck.
good day.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good day.
Bye.